So sixes are often called the Loyalist, and they are master troubleshooters. They can foresee problems ahead of others, and they can put a master plan together to keep people safe who are potentially at harm. As their title suggests, they're also very loyal and committed to the people and the things that they value. Sixes have a strong desire for safety, and they frequently think about and prepare for what could go wrong in the various situations of their lives. Living this way can be exhausting for sixes, and it can cause a lot of anxiety. So the first mental health tip that I gave for sixes in my video was to learn and practice some breathing techniques, some breathing exercises to help calm their body, to help lessen the anxiety, and to ground them in the present moment. So there's 5-5-5 breathing, there's 4-7-8 breathing. If you're a Christian, there's numerous breath prayers that you can find online that are used quite often with Christians in the East. It's a little more foreign and seems kind of weird to some Christians in the West, but it's not weird at all. It's really helping Scripture become as natural as breathing. It's a really beautiful thing that all types can benefit from, but especially sixes who are more prone towards anxiety than other types. And the second mental health tip I gave for sixes actually came straight from you, Tyler. It was one of the resources you sent me, or somewhere I read that you said sixes would benefit by asking the question, what's the best that could happen? So rather than thinking, what could go wrong in this relationship or this situation, what's the best thing that could happen? And that type of perspective shift can really lessen the anxiety that sixes can be so prone to kind of naturally gravitate towards. So that's what I got. Some of that's already from you, but I'm sure you have additional insights and knowledge to share as well on sixes.
Not a lot. You covered it pretty well. They sixes, just so you know, you're the you can be the most courageous type of any other type. You can be the most fearless when it comes to being in the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
But where the anxiety comes in, the low grade anxiety is when you're not in crisis situations and just in a normal situation like this, running on the treadmill or going for a walk, your mind is naturally, when you're not in crisis mode, naturally goes to the what ifs. Well, what if this
Yeah.
happens later? What if this happens tomorrow? And that's where the low grade anxiety comes in, is it's hard to shut that off. And
Yeah.
it's a superpower. If you ever watch the
Mm,
superhero movies, they all have their Achilles heel, it the their greatest gift is also the greatest curse.
yeah.
So six is being able to be able to think through all the worst case scenarios to protect us all, as you can imagine, is going to lead to stress and anxiety,
Yeah.
having that superpower. And so I would say that sixes just need to be aware of the fact that they may be susceptible to panic attacks. And
Wow.
to
Yeah.
be on guard for that. And if it does happen, to go get help and realize that that's just
Yes.
it's just one of the things that flows out of the superpower of being able to spot danger or spot
Wow.
dangerous people. Okay. And so it's nothing
Yeah.
to be ashamed of. It's just something that is an effect of the superpower that you have. So yeah, that's gonna be huge. Another thing that
Yeah.
I'll say for
Totally.
sixes is the to not look past the impact of abusive authority figures in your life. So negative
Mm,
experiences with authority figures who engage in abusive behavior can have long-lasting psychological consequences for sixes. So recognizing and addressing the impact of these experiences, including PTSD or potential PTSD, depression, anxiety disorders, difficulties with trusting yourself, and difficulties with self-esteem, may be flowing out of an experience with an authority figure.
wow.
And that just happens because sixes are tuned to authority more than others. And so they oftentimes will go on this pendulum between trusting a leader and trusting them too much, and not looking at their flaws. Because again,
Mm,
sixes, they want security and support. That's their core desire, is to have security and support. So they're not off on their own, but they're a part of a wolf pack. And so
mm,
that's why they constantly think about authority, because they're like, I need somebody to guide me. I need somebody to keep me safe. And so they naturally will either trust or overtrust a leader, or do the good bad split where this leader is all bad. you know,
Yeah.
and this leader is not to be trusted, and they can be too suspicious of a leader. Okay. So they're just naturally attuned to authority. And so if they run into a negative authority in their life, or a negative boss, or an abusive parent, that can hurt them and cut them so deep for a very, very
Mm.
long time. And so a lot of their counseling work or therapy work is going to have to be going back to that relationship with authority and seeking healing from those experiences. So another thing
Right.
that I learned recently about sixes that's helpful.